Everyone. My name is Wesley Witherspoon, and I'm the participant advocate at the UNC USIT. I'm here today. We're going to talk about voting. So coming up in a few weeks or a few days will be the 2024 elections. So next slide, please. Do you know who these people are? The person on the left is the governor of California. His name is Gavin Newsom. The person in the center is the US president. His name is Joe Biden. And the person on the right is Karen Bass. She's the mayor of Los Angeles. All three people were elected. They got their jobs because people voted for them. So how many people are registered voters?
I am.
Why did you register to vote?
I guess I felt like it is my civic duty as a part of being a citizen to make sure I vote and put my input into these elections.
Yes. Who has voted for something? So you vote on things like a field trip or when you have a dinner. I'm gonna ask, why do you vote for something?
I think it takes account of everyone's thoughts and opinions so that everyone has a say.
That's correct, because voting is part of your self-advocacy. And you can vote whatever way you choose to. Your support person supports you and vote, but don't tell you how to vote. The support, remember, you decide what you want when it comes to voting. Your support person can support you, but they can't tell you how to vote. Next slide, please. So what are the 3 requirements to become a voter?
I know one, you have to be 18 or older.
1.
You have to be a citizen from the chapter.
One more.
You have to register.
Yes. And you could register online, by mail, or in person. So what are important issues to think about when they vote?
Maybe the cost of living. I think that's a pretty big one.
Yes. Things could be like crime, healthcare, housing, taxes, transportation, education, employment, accessibility, and respect. So we talk about why it's important to vote. Now let's talk about how to vote. There are several steps in voting. Next slide. So the first step in voting is registering to vote. When you register to vote, you can go to the website of the California Secretary of State or your county's government voter registration. That's the way to do it. Second step in voting is learn about the candidate issues. So you learn about cancer issues by watching TV, going to radio, the internet, or talking to other people. Next is find your polling place. That's very important come time of voting. Next, getting accommodations if they're needed. Then voting. Then finally turn in your ballot. So where do people vote?
There's usually designated locations where you can go vote.
Yes, it's the locations. You can vote by mail in the drop box too. Ways to learn about Kansas issues: TV, radio, newspaper, internet, county register records, county clerk, election department, League of Women Voters, talk to legislators. Next slide, please. Find your polling place. So how you can find out about your polling place?
I think it's usually written on like your voting pamphlet that you get in the mail.
Yes. So in California, our elections will be early October. So they'll send a sample ballot. It lists where you go vote at a particular time period. And you also have the option to vote by mail. If you want to go into a voting place and you're in your car and you want to bring you a ballot, that's called curbside voting. And also there's some places you can vote early for the election. So let's find your polling place. People register to vote by filling out a form. You can register the form to vote online, by mail, or in person. We talk about requirements. You got to be 18 years or older, a U.S. citizen or California resident. Sometimes people think individuals with disabilities can't and shouldn't vote. This includes election workers, support workers, families, friends of people with disabilities. Has anyone ever heard this?
I haven't personally heard it, but I know that it happens for sure.
How would you respond if someone doesn't think a person with disability should or can't vote?
Maybe tell them to mind their business.
Okay. Yeah, cats. Sorry, there's a cat out here. Okay. So go to the next slide, please. So do anyone know what accommodations are?
Is it considered like tools or resources that can be used to assist you in completing a task?
Yes. Some people can vote at their polling place without any accommodations, but other people might need accommodations. So what are accommodations?
Maybe your voting ballot is in Braille if you are seeing impaired.
Yes. Bob uses a wheelchair and can't get to a polling place to have stairs. What are some things that would help Bob?
Maybe a ramp that he could use instead of the stairs, or maybe voting by mail.
Yes. Here's another scenario. Mary is blind and cannot read her ballot. What are some things that would help Mary?
Again, maybe Braille, or like a trusted friend, or a trusted support worker that can maybe read the things to her. Let's see, text to voice in the chat.
There are good suggestions. These things are accommodations. Next slide. Next slide. So those are accommodations back before the voting system in LA County 2020 and how people voted. Next slide. Voting. So there are many different ways to fill out a ballot. Some polling places use punch cards where you can punch out your choice with a little tool. Others use electronic voting systems. If it is a good idea to find out what type of voting machine your polling place uses, so you can ask for a combination if it's a hard system for you to use. So next slide. Turn your ballot. You turn it in person. You or someone you could trust can also turn your absentee ballot in person. By mail, absentee ballot. So I'm going to talk about what we're going to vote on in this election. The main thing we're voting for in the United States is the United States president. The president is the person who decides the executive laws for the United States. So what do you guys know about the president?
That the president is the head of the executive branch.
Yes. Okay, other things we're voting for U.S. Congress, House of Representatives. Person who's in Congress represents your area for federal laws at legislative area. Other things we're voting for California legislators, state senators, and assembly. In your county, you vote for your board of supervisors. If you live in a city, you vote for school district, community college, water district, health district, city council, and mayors. So I want to explain there's 4 layers of government. Do you know the 4 layers of government? Layer 1, this is the highest level of government. Okay, the highest level of government is called the federal government. And there's 3 branches of the government. The first branch of the government is the legislative, which is called Congress. In the House of Representatives, you get 1 term for 2 years. You can run for life for the representative if you want to. In U.S. Senator, you get 1 term for 6 years, and there's no term limit, so you can run as much as you like. The second branch of the federal government is called judicial. It's called the Supreme Court. In the Supreme Court, we don't get to choose who the Supreme Court justices are. It's appointed by the president and decided by Congress. And once you get appointed, you're there for life. So you can stay as long as you want. The third level of third branch of government is the presidential. 1 term for 4 years, and there's a 2-term limit. So after 2 terms, you're done being president. So the second layer of government is called the state government. That's for the state of California. And there's 3 branches of that. It's executive, that's the governor, 1 term for 4 years, you got a 2-term limit. The legislature is a little different from Congress for the United States. You get maximum 12 years total of legislative for your life. So you could be a state senator, you get 1 term for 4 years, or be assembly 1 term for 2 years. And the third level is the judicial, Supreme Court. You can serve for life, just like the Supreme Court. What's the third level of government?
The local,
Yeah, local. There's 58 Ds in California. What are they?
sorry, Wesley, say that again.
There are 58, I'll get to 58 counties in California. And most counties will have board supervisors, one term for 2 years. You get 12 years maximum. That controls the county government. That's really important. Then finally, city government. And the thing is, some people live in unincorporated areas. If you live in an unincorporated area, your county decide the services for you at that level. And there you have a mayor and a city council, and there's different terms for different cities. So it's over 400 cities in California. So every city is different. So I can't mention all the policies of every city. So any final questions about voting? Next slide. Here's our resources. LAvote.gov. That's for LA County. League of Women Voters. Next slide. So thank you very much. Go out and vote, and you guys have a good day.